Hello, I'm Sami. Yesterday, I was feeling really bad. I'm feeling much better today. Hopefully everyone else is too. I wanted to talk about so many things that I've been feeling already this morning. Firstly, the moon is in Sagittarius. I realize not everyone knows what I'm talking about all the time, and I shorten words for no reason. So the moon is in Sagittarius, and Sag can have a very idealized way of looking at things. They can be religious, just have really strong opinions about things. So whatever it is that they cling to in the moment, very idealistic opinions and ideas of things. So that's where we are today. If you're feeling very strongly opinionated all of a sudden about certain topics, or you want to share your opinion all of a sudden on certain topics, that's going to be what we see today, played out and internally. So this is a warning, because there's a polarized belief today. We're going to see more distinction in the division happening. So the split has been pretty obvious, especially since March or so, when the election energy has been ramping up. I'm not getting involved with politics, but what I will say is watch what you say and how you say it, because chances are none of us know the real truth. None of us know what's going on behind the scenes, and the media portrays their idea, their spin on what they want the narrative to be. Just like when you're watching videos on YouTube and someone talks about CV-19, or someone talks about the president, any other taboo topic, and it pops up a little, click this link to see blah blah blah. They want you to see the truth, so you don't listen to the speaker, you go find their truth. For the last maybe, I want to say 5 years, censorship has gotten huge. I think it was 2016 or maybe it was 2014. A bill was passed in America, some way, shape, or form, that allows the United States to use propaganda on their own people. Okay? This video might get flagged or something, banned, I don't know. But the point is, you cannot trust what you see and hear in the news. You just can't. We should know this by now, because we see two completely different stories being played out. So one group will say, oh, you can't watch that news, that CNN, and then one group will say, oh, don't spend your time, don't watch Fox, this is clearly lies. Both sides are wrong. Just gonna put that out there. Neither side can be trusted, which means we're all fighting for something and really just pushing the agendas of someone else. Okay, so that's a huge problem today. I just wanted to put that out there, that it's impossible for anyone to know the truth. So if you're feeling highly charged about a topic and you want to share about it, be very careful about what information you are projecting onto others, giving to others, and standing behind, because it might not be true. I'm just saying. Moving on. Right now, yesterday was so intense, and now I feel we're in a middle stage here. So we're experiencing a pause or a delay. We all want to know what's coming. We all feel this ramp up of energy. We know something's coming. We just don't know what that is. So the pause has been shown to me as, okay, we need to take a minute, right? let's recollect ourselves and our energy. And we've been reassessing this whole time, but Mercury retrograde is in the mind, and so is Scorpio, and that's where the Mercury is retrograding in Scorpio. So this is really heavy, deep thoughts. It can be mental anguish. It can be really blissful research and finding new topics and finding new things we're passionate about. But the reassessing of where we want to go is the most important. So if you manifest, if you visualize, now is the time to really think about where you want the timelines to progress to, because timelines have been collapsing and we are recreating new ones now. That's why we feel like we don't know what's coming, because we don't know what's coming. The collective is creating the new timelines, so we have to be very careful about what we're believing is going to happen, what we're talking about is going to happen, what we're visualizing for the future. Visualize maybe 5 minutes a day, it doesn't take long. See the future. What do you want? Where do you want to be? What do you want the outside world to look like? How do you want it to feel? Whenever we're manifesting, it's always about the emotional connection. Okay, so that was about the timelines. That's very important. Also, some of us, there's been a split in light workers as well. So if you feel as though you knew where you were headed, and now we're experiencing this pause for reflection, pause to see where we really want to go, that's where we're at, right? So some will not be going where they thought they were. So you may be experiencing this in your life where a red flag popped up, or all of a sudden your plans fell through and it's not going to go the way you thought, or it just doesn't seem possible anymore. So this is for a reason. The timelines changing means that you may have a new path, a new job. So we're kind of just in this waiting period of finding where we're going to go. That's not everyone. That's only some of us. Some are steady on our path. We know where we want to go. We've known for a really long time, and we're moving in that direction, and we will continue to. So keep visualizing what you want for your future and for the world. But keep in mind, if your plans don't go the way they should, there's probably something better or somewhere else that you're needed more. And your soul's just gonna have to go with the flow, okay? So I have a few more things to talk about, and then I'm just gonna summarize the entire energy at the end. So I kept hearing seat, like pick your seat. Like pick your seat for the show. Pick your seat for where you want to go, like on an airplane. Where are you going? Where are we headed? So that goes back, I think, to the visualizing. Where do you want to be? Because these old timelines are collapsing, and so are the systems that we've had in place for a really long time. That's what Saturn in Capricorn does. It breaks down governments and rules. You know, it breaks down how we do things and who's in charge. We've been feeling so much restriction this year, and so now I think it's our turn to really figure out what we need to get our power back, number one, because we're giving it away big time. The media plays a huge role in that, and that's part of this warning. So when you decide to follow the direction of someone else blindly and accepting whatever they say as truth, taking it on, adopting it as your truth, that is very dangerous, because now you're representing an agenda or somebody else's idea that you may not know to be true, and you don't know where it's leading. And with these breakdowns of timelines, that means we are creating new ones, just like the Tower card in tarot. It's this really scary card that no one wants to get, but I don't know if I have it by here, but it's a tower, and it brings lightning, and the ground is breaking, and the tower's breaking apart, and there's people everywhere freaking out, because the old has to be broken down in order to create the new, and it always brings good things. in the end, it's a great card to get because it shakes things up and it brings new realities and it brings change. And I feel like that's what we're going through right now as a collective. So we're breaking down and we're creating new systems, and that's what we need to think about. How do we want things to work going forward? How do we want to feel as a collective and as a people, and how can we return the power back to us? Watch how you feel. Okay, watch how you feel when you're speaking. If you're talking about an opinion on social media, most of the time is what I see. But if you're talking in person with someone about what you think, be careful you're not being condescending. Be careful you're not coming off as you know something and they don't. And watch how you feel when you're saying something. If you're feeling smarter than they are, more empowered than they are, chances are you're wrong in what you're saying. If you're coming across in love and compassion and wanting to share truth and knowledge, it might be a little bit better what comes out of your mouth, but it could also be a lie. Okay, it really depends on how deeply you've indoctrinated yourself and accepted those truths subconsciously. Okay, Mars is aspecting Jupiter, and this brings about this sense like there's hidden truths, right? There's hidden things that we know we don't have the full picture on. I mean, it's impossible. When things come out in the news, you think that they just found out about it? They're just now saying it? Breaking news. No. Probably known about it for a while, and they decided when would be the best time to use this. So with Mars aspecting Jupiter, it's like we're looking for answers, and because we are, we might take anything we get. That's the scary part. Okay, that's part of the warning. Do not buy in to false stories, false narratives, because they're going to continue to give them to you and see what will you accept. What will you take as truth? So many things have come out this year, and they just get thrown to the side. No one cares. This is what I'm saying. They watch and they see. What will you accept? What do you care about? You might take something that makes no sense and go, oh, all right, I guess that makes sense. What? No. We need to start questioning things. We need to start questioning our truths, the things that we've accepted, because they might not be real. I'm just feeling amped up today, right? I need to let everybody know this. So be careful what you adopt and take on as truth. What are you accepting as truth, firstly? Then we got to be careful when we're looking for things. Some truths might come out now, but there are dark forces at play here. And the thing is, we've already won, okay? The light has already won. But the dark is still kind of in control to where they can portray as if they're still in power. And as long as they can portray it that way, people will still believe it, which means we're continuing to give our power away to someone else. If we think we're powerless, we're going to do whatever they say. We're under their control. So, we've already won. We need to remember that. We have to empower ourselves. Dig really deep when it comes to truth. What are you accepting? Look further into it. Check other sources. If you're only looking at one or two sources, you need to expand. Look at the other side. Then find middle ground for yourself. Each side gives a tiny bit of truth. So it's up to us to piece it together. Okay, censorship. I want to talk about this because this has gotten really big over the last few years. When something is censored or banned publicly, worldwide or nationwide, whoever's doing the censoring, we have to ask, especially since just last week, Twitter was trying to ban something about Mr. B, something that New York Times had put out or something, or the New York Post, I don't know, one of those had put out. And they didn't want it on Twitter at all. And it's crunch time now. You know, we're getting really close to this election, so we have to be very careful what we're taking in. They don't want things coming out that might hurt what they want to happen in their narrative. So we need to look at who is doing the censoring. Okay, that should be a red flag. Who's trying to censor? Because those people are wanting control. They're trying to control the narrative, and they're trying to keep things from coming out. So, A, who's doing the controlling? Who wants to control things here? Who's trying to keep this out of the public eye? And for what reason? Why? Why would they be wanting to do that? Okay, we really need to think about that, because what they're trying to hide might be true. The idea that they only censor lies and it's just to keep under control misinformation, I don't buy that. Okay, we really need to question things that are happening now. Okay, so what we need to do is look at things from a higher perspective, from the bigger picture, not from your personality and what you believe and what you choose and what political party you're affiliated and how you think things should go, but just from a higher perspective. We can kind of see it playing out, both sides, right? Both sides talk about each other, and it's never in a way that does anything for the people. If you're pointing fingers at the other, what they're doing is trying to get you on their side. They're trying to hit you, trying to tap a button that lights something up in you where you go, yeah, hey, yeah, I agree with that. And then they got another person on their side. That's all it is. How can we relate to these people? They don't care at the end of the day about any of us. We really need to be careful. Please, I don't watch the news, and it's for this reason. Okay, so like I was saying, the dark is projecting now false stories. So be careful what you see, because it might not be real. Be careful what you're accepting. As long as you're accepting somebody else's truth as your own, you are giving away your power. Okay, you're giving away your voice. So if we want to stand up and have our voices heard, we have to find that voice. And it's not going to be in repeating something you heard somewhere else. We really have to get to the bottom and the truth of it. Okay, because as long as we give our power away, we're assuming someone else will fix this. Someone will come into office and fix this. Someone will rise up in the community and fix this. No, it's up to us to fix it. Okay, as long as we're looking at outside sources to be the savior, we're gonna lose. We have to step up. We have to do it ourselves. We have to stand in our power and demand that our voices be heard. Okay? No one else is going to do it. And like I was saying, since no one knows what's happening behind the scenes, no one can state that they know the absolute truth. No one. None of us. Because we have to be very careful when we're shaming others, when we're pointing blame. We're not looking at ourselves in that moment. And so the focus should be on ourselves, what we're truly feeling emotionally, and how that associates with these things that we're taking on as truth, and why. What are we really wanting when we're feeling compelled emotionally for or against these stories? Okay, also with the election, I just want to point this out. I don't think it's going to go how anyone thinks. Both of their charts are odd when it comes to the next 4 years. So it's highly possible, being that it's going to take place in Mercury retrograde or post-shadow, that there will be delays. Of course there's going to be recounts with all these mail-in ballots and things. It's not going to go the way that we think. So just be expecting that, and or it might not be either one of them that becomes president. Okay, just think about that for a second. Whether that means someone gets elected and can no longer be acting president for some reason. Okay? Or whatever. We're not going to know on November 3rd who's president. We're probably not going to know till, I think it's like the 13th, maybe. Let's just be expecting the unexpected as far as the election goes. And so this was it. It was kind of an energy update. The things that I've been noticing, the things Spirit's been speaking to me and I've been feeling lately. So please like if you liked, share it if you resonate with this message. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and please subscribe. Thanks.